We pioneered the cosmetic use of botulinum toxin, which most of you know as Botox. How many of you know of Botox? Show of hands. Oh, everyone. And probably most of you think it's kind of a yucky, a sort of vanity drug. Maybe you think of it at the silver screen, starlets on a red carpet. Maybe you sort of are dismayed that people would do something so frivolous. So my job today is to teach you the bigger story of this amazing molecule.
I can't wait to see what we TEDsters do about this crisis. And I really, really hope that we multiply all of our energy, all of our talent, and all of our influence to solve this problem. Because if we do, I can look forward to the conversation I'm going to have with my daughter in 20 years. Okay.
I'm not really thinking about it anymore, but for a long time I had been thinking, not supposed to be here, not supposed to be here. So at the end of my first year at Harvard, a student who had not talked in class the entire semester, who I had said, look, you gotta participate or else you're gonna fail, came into my office. I really didn't know her at all. And she came in totally defeated, and she said, I'm not supposed to be here. And that was the moment for me, because two things happened. One was that I realized, oh my gosh, I don't feel like that anymore. You know?
Now, would you believe me if I told you that this whole story began with sausages?
If obesity is nothing more than a proxy for metabolic illness, what good does it do us to punish those with the proxy? Sometimes I think back to that night in the ER 7 years ago. I wish I could speak with that woman again. I'd like to tell her how sorry I am. I'd say, you know, as a doctor, I delivered the best clinical care I could. But as a human being, I let you down. You didn't need my judgment and my contempt. You needed my empathy and compassion. And above all else, you needed a doctor who was willing to consider, maybe you didn't let the system down. Maybe the system of which I was a part was letting you down. If you're watching this now, I hope you can forgive me.
Escaping from reality with my legs resting by my side. I was absolutely, physically, and emotionally broken. But I knew that in order to move forward, I had to let go.
And they weren't even good sausages, they were bad sausages.
As a magician, I try to show things to people that seem impossible. And I think magic, whether I'm holding my breath or shuffling a deck of cards, is pretty simple. It's practice, it's training, and it's practice, it's training, and experimenting while pushing through the pain to be the best that I can be. And that's what magic is to me. So thank you.
I was taking a shower in a hotel room in Sydney the moment she died, 600 miles away in Melbourne. I looked through the shower screen and saw her standing on the other side. I knew she had come to say goodbye. My mother phoned minutes later. A few days later, we went to a Buddhist temple in Footscray and sat around her casket. We told her stories and assured her that we were still with her. At midnight, the monk came and told us he had to close the casket. My mother asked us to feel her hand. She asked the monk, why is it that her hand is so warm and the rest of her is so cold? Because you have been holding it since this morning, he said. You have not let it go.
I want you to come back in time with me. I want you to come back to 1822. We're in Germany, and it's horrible. It's in the aftermath of the Napoleonic Wars. There's poverty, there's hunger, and people are still getting together, but most horrifyingly, they're actually starting to die of this unstoppable paralysis again and again.
What I think I can do today, the best thing I can give you, I've given you my story, which is the best I can do. And I think I can remind us that we do care. I think we all already know that. And I think we know that love is resilient enough for us to get out there and try. Just a sec. Thanks. Thanks. For me, the best way to be inspired to try is to stop and to listen to someone else's story. And I'm grateful that I've gotten to do that here at TED.
It wasn't until the wheels of the plane landed in JFK that I saw their response. Thank you for helping heal us so that we could see them through a new set of eyes. We are so proud of you for listening to yourself. So I'd like to leave you with one thought. What if communication is the cure that we're missing? What if how we talk to ourselves and do or don't receive messages, and then in turn, whether we choose to lean into that discomfort, shows up in how we communicate with the people we love, and in turn, all of us collectively choose to show up in the world, is actually the prescription for health, long before I need to write you a prescription. Thank you.
Justinus Kerner was the German medical officer. And he actually was so horrified by this too, I am too, that he went and studied all of the outbreaks. And he came to the conclusion it was those darn sausages.